Hey Raptors, Miss Handy with the next installment of our Raptor Read Aloud. If you recall, yesterday we read chapters 1 and chapter 2. When we left off, Amelia Bedelia had just seen the most beautiful bike in the world. And today we're going to find out what happens next. Chapter 3, There But For the Grace. And please, said Amelia Bedelia, bring me a new bike. Amen. After she finished saying grace, Amelia Bedelia dove into her supper. Her parents did not begin to eat. They just looked at each other. Her mom arched her eyebrows as high as it would go. Her dad opened his eyes super wide for a couple of seconds, as if someone had stepped on his stomach. Had Amelia Bedelia been paying attention instead of twirling her spaghetti and dreaming about bikes, she would have seen the secret eye talk that all parents do when their children are present. Amelia Bedelia's father unfolded his napkin, spread it on his lap, and then asked, "So, has anyone seen any nice bikes lately?" Amelia Bedelia sat up straight without having to be told and exclaimed, "You wouldn't believe the bike I saw today." She spent the next 10 minutes giving her parents an inch-by-inch description of the most beautiful bike in the world, down to the last spoke. "Goodness," said Amelia Bedelia's mother, "a bike that special must cost an arm and a leg." Amelia Bedelia shook her head. "I would never pay that much," she said. "You need both your arms to steer a bike like that and both legs to pedal it." "That's a good point," said her father. "You certainly need to be big and strong to ride a bike like that." "Yes," said her mother, "so take a bite of your broccoli before it gets cold." Amelia Bedelia took an extra large bite. "How far away is Christmas?" she asked. "A long way away," said her mother. Amelia Bedelia took a much smaller bite of broccoli. "How far away is my birthday?" "Even farther," said her father. "Did I get all of my allowance this week?" "Every penny," said her father. "But remember, you'll have to pay me if you talk with your mouth full." Amelia Bedelia closed her mouth. She chewed and chewed. Then she swallowed and said, "Could I get an early Christmas present and an early birthday present? A new bike is the only thing you'd have to give me ever for years and years." "Well," said her mother, "I think it would be better if a bike wasn't just given to you." Amelia Bedelia looked down at her plate. Her stomach hurt. Now she wished she had not eaten any broccoli at all. Since she was looking at her plate, she once again missed the eye talk between her parents. This time, her mom's eyes grew wider while both of her dad's eyebrows arched high enough to graze the ceiling. "I agree," said her dad. "You should work for a new bike and earn the money for at least half of it." Amelia Bedelia smiled and looked at her parents. "Which half costs more?" she said. "The front half or the back half?" What do you think? Did her parents want her to buy the front half, the back half, or did they want her to pay half of the entire cost of the bike? What do you think? "They don't sell bikes that way, honey," said her mother. Then her father said, "I'll tell you what." "What?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "What about what? What do you have to tell me about what? Can we please keep talking about my bike instead of what?" Amelia Bedelia's father patiently refilled his water glass. "We can't afford to buy a fancy bike like that," he said, "but I can meet you halfway." Amelia Bedelia slid off her chair. She walked exactly halfway around the table and stood there. Her mom and dad stared at each other, then back at her. "Okay," said Amelia Bedelia. Here I am. Are you going to meet me halfway or not? Amelia Bedelia's dad stood up and walked halfway around the table to meet her. He said, "We will pay for half the cost of a new bike, but you will have to pay for the other half." He held out his right hand. Amelia Bedelia looked at it. "I can't pay you my half tonight," she said. "Of course not," her father said. "Tonight we'll make an agreement. In business, when you agree to do something, you shake the other person's hand." Amelia Bedelia grabbed his wrist and shook his hand just as hard as she could. Up and down, up and ow, said her father. "Not like that, sweetie," said her mother. "This is how you shake hands." Her mother showed her how to shake hands with her father. "Make it a firm handshake," she said. "Your hand shouldn't feel like a dead fish or a wet noodle." Then her parents gave each other a hug. "You should probably leave out the hug part, sweetie," said her mother. "Why?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "I love Dad." She shook her father's hand and then her mother's hand. Then Amelia Bedelia hugged both of them together. "Family hug," she hollered. When they were all hugged out, Amelia Bedelia's father said, "Now, Amelia Bedelia, let's have dessert and talk about how you're going to earn your half of the bike." Oh my, I am excited to hear about how she is going to earn her half of the bike. I bet she opens some kind of business based on the title. All right, Raptors, we will read chapter 4 tomorrow. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are enjoying our Amelia Bedelia Means Business book, and I hope that you are reading lots of other books with your family at home and enjoying the other read alouds that are available for you on Roger's YouTube channel, as well as some of the other CCSD schools' YouTube channels. Bye!